And after a very lovely hotel night, we are making a mad dash to meet a trail angel to go back to the bad part of town and then walk out of the bad part of town. We ended up staying inside St. Louis, even though we normally don't like jumping ahead, just because it was easier for a trail angel that could give us a ride. The area where we were in wasn't the best as far as overnighting options. It's all a matter of positivity.
That must be it. Back to Illinois.
Woohoo! And we are back in the less than great area of town in front of what we think might be a strip club that has its own little guard tower over there, but it's all good because I have coffee. Okay, after a highly entertaining time finishing the coffee that the nice trail angel brought us and reading reviews of these fine establishments, we are going to get the hell out of Illinois. I know, Taters is gonna miss it. She really enjoyed all that corn, but it's okay. We have more corn ahead.
I miss the river to river.
I had a tick on me yesterday. I don't mix river to river that much. The advice to come through here early in the morning was actually pretty good, if for no other reason than the traffic is way nicer at this time of day. So we have another 4 or 5 miles. Then we are using some pedestrian walkway across the Eads Bridge. And then the majority of today will be making our way across St. Louis. Looks like the route's going to take us through their big park, which the trail angel last night told us is technically bigger than Central Park. We were both feeling a bit better after having a relatively full night's sleep, but I was beat. It was difficult to wake up this morning. Normally I try and wake up an hour or so ahead of Jen so I can get a head start on the video edits. I did what I could, but we are still a couple of days behind. Which granted does always seem to happen when we are spending more time in hotels than we are on the tent. Unfortunately, just had to duck off into the bushes, and there are people living back there. And the trail's showing us all the sites. Mental health center. I don't think we even checked staying here. Last time we looked at casino hotel rooms, they were quite affordable, but you had to be okay with a very, very smoky sleeping environment. And this is our access to the pedestrian walkway to get across the Mississippi. So when we did the Mississippi, I remember going under the bridge and being talked about on one of the cruise ships multiple times and floating straight in front of the bridge. Funny thing is, when we did it, there was a lot more under that. So the river's got to be pretty high up. Jen is disappointed she didn't get to walk in the breakdown lane right next to high-speed traffic. It's not the cooperative venture, Jen. We don't have to pee on him off the bridge. We also don't have to not.
Pedestrian walkways on bridges are great. Thank you, St. Louis, for putting a walkway on your bridge and not having like an 8-inch shoulder.
So there is a viewing area on the top of the arch, but you have to get into a kind of small elevator. And I think the sensory experience for everybody else, thanks to our several-day-old sweaty clothes, is probably not worth us getting the view. We were in a Marriott somewhere around here last night. I think we were a bit further in. We've been in Missouri all of 3 minutes and it's already raining on us, so lest you think it's gonna get boring. Rain and sirens this morning. Holy unwashed masses, Batman. Lots of unhappy complaining here at the Arch, and only some of it is me not having gotten enough coffee this morning. There's also small children. And welcome to the slightly drizzly concrete jungle. Jen, that also reminds me of Spaceballs. Doesn't that make you just want to go comb the desert? You're totally watching that movie sometime. So I used to love these fountains because when I worked overnights, I would go get dinner at this place, and invariably little kids would be told not to get wet, and they would get braver and braver and braver until they get wet. Also, that's interesting that that fountain actually has a full clothes sign on it. Jen may not have seen Spaceballs, but now she has seen the Fallout TV show. Sadly, Blondie is saying I am not allowed to play on the bounce houses. Something about those being for actual children. Now that is a post office.
Wow, I wish we sent a package here.
You can go send something. I'll wait for you. The funny thing is that post office had a bunch of reviews of people complaining that their packages are sitting at that distribution center and not getting delivered. That is some sculpted man butt right there. People have been getting after me for a lack of electrolytes, so I'm trying. So we were trying to go find this place, but we went by a hotel and I turned around and all of a sudden Jen had like 3 security people on her. But they were nice, right?
They were offering to let me in.
Ooh. Hey baby, you want to see my hotel room? We found it eventually. This is the least flamey flame show I've ever seen. Oh! I am more easily amused than Blondie. I've also had 1 beer, which is the first beer in a long time, so I'm a lot more easily amused than this negative face McTater butt there. For the record, I was trying to get food, followed by potentially a frozen Irish coffee that Taters has been asking for. Instead, I got a $7 bill and told I had, or beer, and told I had to get moving again. And having successfully waited out the non-rainy period, we are now back on the move. So that's our hotel that we were at last night, and that's also the Starbucks that Jen refused to walk to get me coffee this morning.
Yeah.
Technically, I made fun of your hobble last night. This morning was a completely different and unique hobble. And for the record, somebody carried somebody else's pack in addition to their own out of the Trail Angels car and up to the 6th story last night. Yeah. Well, she was like unbelieving, going, "Oh my God, you're gonna like break it up and die!" And I'm like, "This thing, lady? No!" We are currently trying to figure out if this is a normal school or some sort of a like prison-y sort of school. In this episode of Cops St. Louis, Blondie jaywalks. After all the cool places I found us to potentially eat, some of which had these massive milkshakes with like cookies and brownies and colors and everything, Jen decided to bring us here.
Hey, I thought you would like the name.
Only if it's He-Man based. And that was actually surprisingly decent. And the guys that ran the sandwich counter were nice. Okay, we are somehow behind schedule today, but we think we are finally ready to start hiking.
This is not my fault.
Uh-huh. Good news is at least the sun came out. Better drink that fast, Jen. It's going to melt.
I can't believe that it's not a thunderstorm when we're in St. Louis.
Yet. And sadly, the clouds have abandoned us, at least for the moment. Lundy!
Aww.
This day has gotten better. Have you ever been sitting in a hammock and go, what is that horrible smell? Did somebody, oh, ew. Anybody available to work as a court witness just in case?
Don't put that on YouTube.
We seem to be not making the best mileage today. I'm not sure why. It probably has to do with the weather.
Walking through cities is the best with you.
Oh.
You take so much joy in all the little distractions.
And I distract the bush people so they don't bother you. It all works out. I keep trying to get Jen moving, but somehow the miles just don't come today. Come on, Blondie. Yeah, right. The fountain's going to get you wet. It's not the humidity or the rain.
There's 3 seats all the way at the back, and then the last.
Well, when you're backpacking and actually like on trail, it's a lot easier.
But that works out really well because Missouri vegetation in the fall, like color, sucks.
Looks like we have successfully found the golf course. And we're going to go through the Wash U campus here. We don't like this campus near as well because at least so far, no public hammocks.
Can you go through?
No, it's not a thing and it's not a bathroom. Kind of a major purchase. A lot of the statues out here are kind of a mix between sexiness and horror vibes, I'm finding. We just had another person yell us down, ask us if we wanted cold Gatorade. And basically the answer to that is always yes. I will never say no to cold Gatorade. But he actually knew us and was out looking for us. Oh, this is nice. What? Maybe they can give you YouTube skills. The brand new Taters Tuesday. Get discovered, Jen. Okay. Who thinks that Taters Tuesdays need to be followed up by Taters Wonderful Wednesdays? This is why people trade people in, Jen. Lack of following direction. There was a women's exchange and she's really curious. She actually turned to me and went, "Don't trade me in." Don't look, Blondie. It will activate your weird obsession with the dead. Just for the record, not judging you for your obsession with the dead, just due to the fact you dropped your pack.
So Matt thinks it's weird that I've been interested by all the cemeteries we've been passing on this trip. Partly, I think the old ones are really interesting. So this one isn't super old, but I did learn something anyway. It's a Jewish cemetery, and I learned that in the Jewish culture they leave small stones on the headstones as a mark of honor and respect.
Sadly, we are to the suburbs, out of the fun part of the city, which was also the part of the city that had regular sidewalks. Do you ever stop talking? Pretty much not. Lisa wasn't saying anything too embarrassing. Sadly, Blondie is a little less energized by people to talk to than I am, and gets a little bit on the grouchy side and tells me to go away unless I want to sleep. So, shh, home sweet home. Oh, whoa. Oh, here, I blurred you out. Wow. You're like Japanese porn. I can't see you. Oh, Jesus, there were flames.